Good evening, everyone. I'm Bernie Iacovangelo, and I'm the president of Faber Homes. As Bill says, I'm the BER. The name Faber Homes because it was three brothers that got in business together. My brother Frank and I were partners in the law firm of Gallo and Iacovangelo. The firm is still located in Rochester. There's 25 attorneys there. When I started, I was the first associate. Lou Gallo and Frank formed a partnership in 1970, and I came out of law school in 1973. And I practiced law for over 25 years. I've done everything from a real estate closing to representing someone in a murder case. I've done litigation with personal injury, and I've done litigation as far as any type of contract dispute and so on. I had developed a real desire for attention to detail, especially when representing clients' rights and needs. So I took that, and when we started Faber Homes, I used that same philosophy within the company. And building a product, well, oftentimes people say, why'd you start building new homes? And because I saw the overwhelming need in the buying process of there being a home for the working families, a new home with innovations that are offered today, a new home that will provide you with the lifestyles of today, not of yesterday. Because our lifestyles have changed. Because I know none of you are buying brand new 1958 Chevrolets. I don't see anybody buying a brand new F-150, but it was 1978. So what we do is when we go to buy a vehicle, we want to buy things with the digital, features on it. We want to buy the vehicle that, has got navigation. So we're looking for the innovation that's available today in everything that we buy. I go to the Y in the morning, work out a little bit because I have a tendency not to be able to push away from the table too much. So the only way I try to control my waistline is I go to the Y. And everybody's got these things on their arms. They got earplugs. I don't know what, if it's measuring, the heart rate through their ears, or they're listening to music. We got so many different items of technology today, but what we don't often see in existing homes is this technology. And so that's what I try to bring to the table, in our new home construction, and I've been doing that since we started. But you folks that are here this evening to learn about new home purchase, new home ownership, are living through a period in our country's history that's unbelievable. When you're talking about buying a new home, trust me, you have no idea how phenomenal this time is. We're the only country that has lenders that support the borrowing of money that you can have for 30 years. Many other countries outside of our borders don't even have banks providing mortgages. I know that where my ancestors come from in Italy, that when they build a house, what they have to do is build it as they have cash. So it could take 12, 15 years before this new home is done because they don't have mortgages. In Canada, they have mortgages, just like in the United States. But every 5 years, the mortgage comes due so that the bank can adjust the interest rate. We are the only nation that provides a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. And as long as you can qualify for it, that fixed rate today is for an FHA mortgage around 3.875% for 30 years. If you get a conventional loan, it's 4% for 30 years. When I got out of law school in 1973, and I got admitted to practice law in 74, the interest rate at that time was 6.75%, and by the 1980 had gone up to 10.5%. From 1980 to 1983, it went up to 18.5%. I've worked in the business long enough to see the cycles. We're in a cycle that no one would have ever anticipated would have came about. When the mortgage rates went down to 6% in 2005, 2004, 2005, everybody was saying, this is phenomenal. We thought 8.5% was going to be there forever, and that was great. But it got down at one time. My daughter closed in April at 3.125% for 30 years. So you lock the interest rate in. So folks, you're living in a great time. This, coming out this evening is because you're interested in doing it. But I just wanted to emphasize to you how important it is, because you're going to pay that money back with what? Inflated dollars. The government in the United States right now is printing money, buying bonds, and so at some point in time, and that's to artificially keep our rates low, so that they can, develop energy to the economy. Eventually, they're going to have to pull it out of the system. You know how they pull it out of the system? Raise rates. You'll be in a home, rates will be locked. Your payment will be locked. So whether you're considering an existing home or you're considering a new home, make the purchase. They didn't come up with the statement, he who hesitates is lost, for no reason. It's the truth. We sometimes hesitate. Next thing you know, you look back a year and a half, so I should have done it then. Should have done it a year and a half ago, because something was 3.875, now it's 5%. So remember that. You're living in a phenomenal time with unbelievable opportunity. And you got to make the move. There's just, the choice is, what do I do? Give more money to the banks? Or do I get it at a lower number? And number two, will I be able to get the same type of financing program in a year and a half as there are offered today? Because it changes every day. And there's been a huge amount of change as a result of what occurred in 2007. So I'd like to bring that up to you, and I want to emphasize that because I know you people care, otherwise you wouldn't have came out here tonight in this wonderful weather. Because it is a tad cold, And I'm waiting for the wine too, just so you know. But I build homes, and like I told you, there's a bunch of reasons why I build homes, and these are a few of them. Okay, these are 10 of them. You can go to the next one. I won't go through each and every one of them, but some of the greatest parts of this. When you buy an existing home, I'm not saying it's not the way to go, but when you buy an existing home, what you see is what you get. But also, what you don't see is what you get. And that's the problem. The costs that you could incur just on deferred maintenance could be huge. On top of that, what you have in buying a new home is the latest in technology. You can go through these models later. You'll see basements. We used to build basements with concrete masonry block. In the city, years ago, they used to make it, with a larger block. Okay, it was a little different, construction, but it was concrete block. Then there's poured walls. What we use is a manufactured product that has insulation built right in, and it doesn't need a footer. It's put on stone so that the drainage underneath from water outside the walls gets to the crop quicker and out. There's no water laying under it, which makes it drier, which makes it more comfortable. And also it's designed so later on, should you want to finish off the basement, all you have to do is run the wire, put the drywall up, put a drop ceiling in with some lights, and it's all done. And it's very comfortable. The whole home is very comfortable. Number two, when we build homes today, we have to build them to the modern code. An existing home was built according to the code, but it was built according to a code of 40 years ago. And it's totally different today. It's much safer. The homes is a result of the code, improvements. It's much more energy efficient today than ever before. Homes are very tight, well insulated, better, furnaces are 92 to 95% efficient, which means they burn off 92 to 95% of the gas that's being put into the chamber. Everything is brand new. Nothing's used, nothing's old. We talk about the chamber in the furnace. You can't see the chamber in an existing home furnace. It's inside the furnace. If it's got a crack in it, it's defective. You may have to fix that later on. So, all of these features, besides that, go into someone else's house, you're buying their personal likes, their personal colors, their personal likes as far as the flooring. In a new process, you get to choose all of it. You're going to change it anyways in the old. You go through a process, you buy an existing home, guess what? They got green walls, what are you going to do? You're going to go to the Home Depot, you're going to buy the paint, and you're going to start painting. If they've got the floor that you don't like, you're going to start changing that. And then if the windows are too drafty, you're going to start changing that. You always will take an existing home as it appears, that as the people that are selling it liked it, and the colors they liked, and choices they made, you're going to turn it into yours. Industry-wide, they say that you will spend in the first 18 to 24 months of home ownership 20% of the purchase price on taking that existing home and making it your home. 20%. So if you buy a house for $135,000, you're going to spend $27,000 in the first 18 to 24 months making it your home. And that's not even deferred maintenance. So with us, buying a new home, you can, number one, choose the location. Okay, the community you want to be in. You can also choose the home site that you want to put your home on. You can choose the floor plan that meets your lifestyle needs, because your lifestyle needs may be different than your lifestyle needs. And you may want a dining room, which most people don't want today, and you don't want a dining room. So we've got home plans that are flexible enough to meet everyone's lifestyle needs. And that's all changed. As we said, the cars changed over the last 20, 30, 40 years. So have housing styles, lifestyle needs, and so on. So we have listed over 21 reasons why you'd want to consider building a new house versus a home. And I'll tell you this, and we can prove to you, the cost of operating a new home is far less than that of an existing home, only because of the energy features. These features of why you build. How you build, or how you go through the process, number one is you find a community in which you want to be in. Number two, you sit down with one of our sales representatives and you say, I'd like to go through a program of what I want in the house. And that program will help you to decide on what plan best suits you, coupled with the pricing, okay? And you can go through your selection process, go into a contract, then once the contract's approved, you make your mortgage application. Once you got your mortgage application, then once you get approval for that, we remove the contingencies and we start building. And that's anywhere between a 90 and 120-day process. But you can see what you're getting. Like I said, with an existing home, what you see is what you get. What you don't see is also what you get. But with the new home, I can't hide it. I build an open public view of the whole process. And you'll have walkthroughs at framing, you'll have walkthroughs at drywall, you have walkthroughs at the finish. You can see what you're buying. So that's just an overview. I probably went over my time because you can't give a lawyer. You just can't, because when I'm talking to the jury, you understand me? I want you to vote in favor of my client, okay? Thank you very much.